Mike again with another part in our series of What Can I Do with My Degree? Today, I'm very pleased to be bringing with you here a Park alum, someone who I think is a very great kind of influence for us and can give you an idea of what you can be doing really outside and parallel to the field of athletics. So with me today is Erycka Fisher. Sorry about that. So Erycka, thank you again for joining me here. Just a little quick intro on Erycka. She is a 2009 graduate from Park and also a two-time All-American in track and field. She currently, I believe, holds the record for indoor track on the 4x400 team and is number 3 all-time on the fastest 400-meter hurdle for outdoor track. So quite an accomplishment for you there. So Erycka, can you just tell us a little bit about what your kind of academic path has been?
Yeah, so academically, I graduated from Park University with biology and chemistry degree. When I first came in, I was like, I want to go into medicine. And then as I kept going with biology and chemistry, I ended up graduating and then going a whole different route because I'm all about mentoring and education. So I went and got a master's at Concordia University in education, and got another master's in business because I did want to form my own nonprofit. And then also I'm into sports. And so I was like, kinesiology, sports science would be a really good master's to get another master's in at Concordia in that as well. And so kind of went different tracks with my education, but I think all of them have are beneficial in some way. So.
And I believe you're currently a doctoral candidate at Grand Canyon University.
I am in educational leadership right now. So that's all online. I was supposed to originally do a cohort. And then with COVID hit, it's just going to be all online. And then I have to go in a couple of months to do my residency. So, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. And I'm also an instructor there as well. So I thought that was really neat to see that.
That's cool.
Erycka, you kind of seem to be following me everywhere. Should I be really worried about this?
Maybe slightly.
Now, I was with you there, like I told you when I first reached out to you, that I did my bachelor's in chemistry and biology. I was going the medical route, and then the MCATs came, and those are a lot harder than they seem.
Yes, they are.
So how did, being kind of prepared in the really big science fields get you then into more of the business side of things here today?
I've always, like I previously mentioned, I've always wanted to create my own nonprofit for kids. And then so that's where I was like, well, I need business courses in order to know how to run a business. And then I also need education courses to learn how to teach children and things of that nature. So that's kind of how that went that route. Because I've always, since I was a kid, I was like, I want to be a pediatrician. And then the MCATs came, and then doing internships at hospital. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to do this, This is harder than I thought and a lot more emotional than I thought. And so that's when I started to go the education and then business route at that point. I was like, well, I want my own business, but I really need to learn how business run, how they're profitable, things of that nature. So.
Awesome. Now, you have a pretty extensive volunteer background, and currently you're volunteering with the Austin Independent School District. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing there?
Yeah, so before COVID, I was working with an organization called It's Time Texas. And basically that organization, I did get paid for that, but a lot of the kids that I met through that organization, I started mentoring on the side and just doing a lot of volunteer things like that. But that organization was designed to just really build a healthy lifestyle for kids. It was an after school program. And so 2 hours after school, we'll go and play games. We'll talk about healthy eating, healthy lifestyles, things of that nature. And then that's just one part of what I'm doing in Austin. And then I also do Austin Angels is another volunteer nonprofit organization that really focuses on kids that are in foster care and giving them a mentor to kind of help them get out when they get out of foster care. What is it like to be an adult, helping them with school, helping them, anything they need in life, essentially. But it's a really good program as well. I have a couple of girls that I'm helping out right now with that. So do that program.
That's awesome to hear. My wife's a social worker, so I'm definitely well entrenched in that world as well. I mean,
Yeah,
there are, once you turn 18, I mean, you're kind of on your own.
you are.
And having someone like you there to be able to help with that transition, that's huge. You don't see
Yeah.
that, just every day. So I mean, that's just an amazing thing there. And
Right.
I'll include a couple links uh, to your volunteer services here below, so you guys can all check those out here later. Now, what kind of got you into doing so much volunteer work?
My background, I was adopted and then I lost my mom my sophomore year in college. Lost my best friend my sophomore year in college. So I dealt with a lot of loss and I didn't really have a mentor, anybody to really guide me on what I needed to do. And I kind of just thrown in the deep end and had to figure everything out myself, on how to manage life, how to apply for college, finishing college. Like my mom helped me apply for college, but once she passed away, it was like, whoa, this is a whole new realm, a whole new world. And so just really trying to figure out things on my own. And I feel like, I think what's made me the person I am today is being thrown in the deep end. However, I want others to experience a mentor and experience somebody that's kind of gone through some of those hardships and how to get through it, and not revert to like things that aren't healthy, and just stay on the course. So that's what really propelled me in doing it. And my mom was the big volunteer person as well, through school district. She was a teacher and then she got her PhD. And so, yeah, she kind of pushed me to do it as well. So.
Well, great. I mean, that's awesome to hear. I mean, overcoming adversity, I mean, that's one of the hardest things to do. I mean, to see
Yeah.
where you're at today after, hearing that, I mean, that's incredible. I mean, you are definitely, living the dream, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Now, both of us have kind of changed our career paths or where we wanted to go a couple
Yeah.
times, sounds like. What would you kind of say to, freshman age students right now that may not be sure where they want to go? A lot of the students that are going to be watching this are going to be exercise science majors, or at least at the starting path of it. But, we both know those things can change. So, I mean, what would you say to those students that may be undecided with where they're at right now?
Yeah, I would say whatever you're passionate about. And what I mean by passion is whatever wakes you up in the morning where you're like, man, if I don't do this, my day is just not going to go well. That might be volunteer work. That might be in the business realm. That might even be getting up and coding because I'm in IT now too. So yeah, I have a very crazy background. But yeah, I would just say whatever you're passionate about, whatever you feel like, okay, this is something I'm really going to like and something I'm really going to enjoy. That's how I would really go after it. Just keep in mind, as you transition through college and after college, things just change, your mindset change, maturity changes, but whatever you're passionate about, that's where I would start.
Absolutely. And that's definitely great advice to hear there. Like I said, we can both speak from experience.
Yeah.
Where you start out day one is not always where you end up, 4 years later. So
it's a marathon, not a sprint. I always say that, in
absolutely.
life, it is a marathon. So
now, how much would you say that being in multiple fields has helped you kind of develop not only in your career but as on a personal level as well?
The people that I've met, networking is very, very important. That's one piece of advice that I would give any new student, anyone, just networking, just learning how people run business on different sides, from IT to education. People run businesses differently, but you can learn from all those different experiences and kind of come up with your own. But I mean, just the people that I've met in my IT company that I work for now are probably the best mentors I've met, and not mentors on a level of technical, but just a level of just how to talk to people, how to formulate emails and things of that nature. So I think it's important to be a little bit diverse in what you kind of go after, just so that you can meet different people from all realms of life. So
yeah, so I mean, you never know.
Yeah, it doesn't allow you to stay in a bubble, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you never know who's going to be able to help you out or who you can help out or influence along the way. So, I mean, definitely that diversity of experiences is really huge there.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that you are an Ultimate Tag champion. So any of my students know that I became a huge fan of that show over
Oh,
the course of the
cool.
summer. We actually used some of your, not you personally, but the material from the show in our exercise physiology course.
Oh,
So it was actually really neat to be able to talk to you here. Um, but Erycka, I do again really appreciate your time, and
of
thank you
course.
so much for taking a few minutes out of your busy day. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And thank you so much again.
Thank you. You too.